Our story today begins with a plane that suddenly explodes mid-air and crashes into the heart of the ocean. Just seconds before the explosion, a strange green light surrounds the plane from all directions. It's the cause of the crash. All the passengers fall into the water, and of course, many of them die. We then see one of the survivors floating in the middle of the sea, clinging to a piece of wood, trying to stay alive any way he can. When he looks around, all he sees is wreckage and dead bodies everywhere. He keeps swimming until he spots an island very close by, and he decides to head for it quickly, hoping to find someone to help him. Finally, after a long time, he reaches the island and collapses on the ground from exhaustion. He can't even feel his body after all that swimming. He has broken bones in his arm, and even his leg is injured. Eventually, he passes out and falls into a dream where he finds himself standing at a dark edge, facing a strange creature that watches him from a distance. When he wakes up, he realizes it was just a nightmare. He decides to build something to sleep in instead of freezing outside. He gathers some wreckage from the plane and builds a small hut. Then he goes looking for a stream to drink from and finds some fruit to eat. But because of the wound on his leg, he develops an infection and a high fever. Over time, he starts hallucinating. Every time he closes his eyes and opens them again, he sees that same creature. But this time, it's very clear, like it's real. He's terrified at first by its appearance. It's very tall and somewhat humanoid, but its face is animal-like with glowing eyes and enormous claws. Despite all this, he can't run or escape. He feels as if something is paralyzing him. He just keeps staring into the creature's terrifying eyes until it moves away and disappears into the forest. The next day, he notices a strange plant near his hut with a weird smell. Without thinking, he eats a large amount of it. Strangely enough, the plant acts like medicine. His body heals, and the infection disappears within hours. He realizes the creature must have left the plant for him. Later, the creature even leaves some fruit at his doorstep so he can eat and regain strength. He's overjoyed and wants to thank it, but he can't find it. The next day, he finds a rare kind of stone near the beach, glowing with strange energy. When he picks it up, symbols begin to appear on it. The more he looks, the more symbols show up, though he doesn't understand any of them. He decides to hide the stone inside his shirt, and instantly he feels warm. A few hours later, he notices large, strange footprints near the beach. The toes are more than 5, unlike human feet. From the depth of the prints, he can tell that whatever made them is massive and heavy. He decides to follow them. They lead him deep into a unique part of the island, almost like a separate forest filled with unknown plants. There he sees more of the glowing stones, arranged in a precise geometric pattern. When he looks beside him, he sees the creature watching him closely, for the first time, from a very close distance. He realizes the creature looks somewhat feminine, with long hair that matches the color of the forest. Her eyes are multicolored and change depending on her surroundings. He decides to approach her and introduces himself. She doesn't understand his language but responds in her own way. She walks over to one of the glowing crystals, places her hands on her head, and performs a ritual that makes him see strange visions, as if he's living in a fantasy world. She helps him understand who she is without speaking. It's as if she's telling him she is a part of the island, and the island is part of her. Neither can live without the other. She shows him what happened on the island thousands of years ago. The island used to be completely normal until one of those glowing stones fell from the sky, marking the beginning of everything. Iko, that's the creature's name, was born from the fusion between the island's environment and the mysterious stone. A new and different kind of life began to appear on the island. We also learn that Iko is the result of a union between the cosmic and earthly realms. She tells him that she's always observed humans when they get near the island. When he asks if she was responsible for the plane crash, she takes the crystal from him and places it in a specific spot. Suddenly, he sees the entire island and realizes it's surrounded by a strange green energy, a barrier that no one can cross. Anyone who tries ends up like the plane, completely destroyed. He then understands that the crash wasn't her fault. It was beyond her control. Iko starts teaching him how to use the crystal to communicate with her more effectively. Her language consists of feelings, images, and specific concepts, not regular spoken words. Over time, he learns more and discovers new things about the island. Iko explains that there were many like her, but over time, most of them merged into the forest and disappeared. She's been trying to maintain her consciousness to avoid disappearing like the rest. That's why she needed a conscious human to connect with, to preserve her identity. When he came to the island, it was her chance. She begins to show him more of the island's wonders, plants and trees that respond to his thoughts, and strange creatures that only exist in fantasy books. Eventually, they arrive at a cave full of strange pulses and high energy. Even the wound on his leg begins to change color and heals completely. His skin changes too, and he feels an unprecedented strength in his body. His muscles are more powerful than ever. He asks her, through the crystal, what's happening to him. She explains that the plant he ate healed his wound by integrating into his tissues, making him partially part of the cosmic realm like her. Shocked, he asks if he's going to turn into a creature like her. She calmly explains that he won't become like her, but something in between, a bridge between both worlds. When he asks if she can stop the transformation, she goes silent, meaning she can't do anything. He becomes very angry, yells at her, and leaves. She decides to leave him alone for a while and disappears. He sits by the sea for 2 days, refusing to go back into the forest. He watches his body continue to transform in a terrifying way. He feels everything in the forest, as if he's living in every corner of it. He can hear and sense the smallest animals from miles away. Eventually, he returns to the forest and finds Iko. He tells her about a strange dream where he was running through the forest, his body fully adapted, and he felt free for the first time, completely at peace. He decides to face Iko and speak with her again. She chooses to show him the full truth. Using the surrounding stones, she reveals how these stones came to Earth. They were seeds launched from a distant galactic civilization that was destroyed. The seeds were sent out into the universe to leave behind some legacy. Most were destroyed by ancient humans, but this island remained untouched because it's remote, isolated, and protected by storms in the ocean. The suitable climate allowed the seeds to grow and create a new ecosystem and consciousness. From this, a new civilization formed, and Iko was born to embody this system. Many like her existed, but over time they either merged with nature or died trying to escape the island. Iko survived alone for many years, trying to maintain the system and herself. Whenever a shipwreck occurred near the island, she would try to communicate with the survivors. But they either ran in fear, died, or couldn't handle the transformation and died from rejection. She's surprised he's still alive, and he explains that he has an immune disease and was dying. He was traveling to seek treatment. Because his immune system was weak, his body accepted the transformation and began healing rapidly. He realizes he's now a human in mind and soul, but with the body of a creature. With no way back, he tries to accept his new self. Seeing his distress, Iko offers to remove all traces of the transformation, but warns that it will be extremely painful, and he won't be able to leave the island. Life will be harsh for him here as an ordinary human. She gives him time to think. He spends 2 days by the sea reflecting on what to do. He discovers new abilities and feels the island's energy protecting him. His skin gradually turns green, and he no longer needs the stones to understand Iko. They communicate freely now. He learns that Iko is bonded to the island. If he chooses to be like her, he can never leave, but he will live with her forever. Remembering his old life of pain and illness and how he was close to death, he realizes he can now live happily in a new way, in harmony with nature, with Iko by his side. Suddenly, he starts sensing other spirits around him, as if they are in a dormant state waiting for something. He goes to Iko and tells her his final decision. He agrees to stay, but on his own terms. He shares his thoughts, especially his objection to planes and boats being destroyed near the island. He wants to find a way to protect others. Iko agrees. She performs a final ritual with him. He sleeps surrounded by stones as she places her hands on his heart. He feels excruciating pain throughout his body, screaming as if the entire forest is screaming with him. Once the ritual ends, he feels fully connected to the island. His body transforms like Iko's, and he feels he's truly one of her kind. He soon discovers amazing new abilities. He can become invisible, feel the island's energy, and lift incredible weights. He and Iko combine their powers to remove the energy barrier around the island so it won't harm others. They agree to help any human who arrives by accident return home safely. But if someone wants to stay and become one of them, they will help with the transformation willingly. Iko teaches him all the island's secrets and its strange technology, while he teaches her everything about humans and their different ways of life. As their bond grows, all the dormant creatures awaken, ready to live again. Eco understands they were waiting for balance to be restored before returning. Together, they form a big new family and a complete life of their own. Like humans, he finally feels, for the first time since arriving, that he did something meaningful. Maybe it wasn't a coincidence that he came to the island. Maybe it was his destiny to help them live. And that's where today's film ends. If you enjoyed the video, please support us by liking and subscribing. It really helps the channel. Stay tuned for more videos and new summaries. Goodbye.